Peace. What's good, guys? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's talk about NXT, the Great American Bash for July the 5th, 2022. This is a really fun show. I enjoyed it. It was great. It was great. So, we kicked the show off with a fun vignette from Briggs and Jensen, along with Nathan Frazier, um, Inofe. We had uh, a bunch of other people there as well, and they were running down the match card and everything else, and that's how we started off the show. So that was pretty cool. First match of the night was Toxic Attraction versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. This is a pretty fun match. In the end, Roxanne, she picks up the win via the Pop Rocks on Dolan for the win. So I'm happy about this. This is kind of cool. It's inevitable that Toxic Attraction is going to be called up more than likely after SummerSlam. I think it's time. They've been on NXT 2.0 for a minute, and they've done fairly well. But the star of the trio, or starting to be a star in the trio, is JC Jane. She's improved a lot. You know, Mandy is obviously the star, but you know, Gigi and Jane, they're great. They're great, and they're going to do well on the main roster. They're going to do fucking well on the main roster. Later on, Roxy says that she's going to cash in her breakout tournament contract to have a match against Mandy Rose. She's going to dethrone Mandy Rose. You know, she's just tired of Toxic Attraction. Mandy Rose later on in the night cuts a promo saying that, you know, whatever Cora Jade and Roxanne call themselves, it doesn't matter. Something in 2001. She said, you know, Gigi and JC, they've lost before. They'll eventually come back like they always do. It's a rinse and repeat type of situation. And I'm going to make Roxanne be a part of the losing club, where she's going to join Cora Jade. And she said once the adrenaline wears off, she'll realize that she made a big mistake. So I like this. It's fun. You know, I'm glad. Now we all know that Roxanne's going to lose. She's going to lose. So, yeah. Next, we had Trick Williams versus Wes Lee. This is a pretty fun match. Trick Williams came out with a boxing robe and long boxing trunks, paying homage to the greatest boxer to ever live, to ever do it, Muhammad Ali. And this is a fun middle match. It was short, so Carmelo he gets involved, and Williams is rubbing himself down with water and everything else, and then one of the commentators, I think it was Big Joseph, that said that he's using rubbing alcohol, and Trick was able to hit a spin kick for the 1-2-3. I'm fine with this. You know, Trick Williams is so fucking good. He's got a bunch of charisma. He's super over as a heel. I think that he will do well on the main roster. Him, Carmelo Hayes, Tony D'Angelo. I think these types of guys will do well on the main roster. They actually do fit the main roster. You know what I'm saying? So they're over as an act. They're probably gonna separate them and split them up on the main roster anyway. You'll probably see Carmelo Hayes on Raw, and you'll probably see Trick Williams on SmackDown. But there's money to be made with these guys, and both of these guys have upside. Like, it's unfucking believable. They're good, super good. I think Trick is like, what, 26 or 27? And I think Carmelo is the same age, like 26, 27. I think he's 27, so yeah. They're good. We then got a promo by Tony D'Angelo saying that he was sorry that he had to get rid of 2 Dons, but he had to do what he had to do. And then he said to Elektra Lopez, since she's joined the family, she's increased profits by 18%. I'm like, damn, what the hell? Shit, what the hell is she doing? Like, what the hell? So then he told the rest of Legados, he showed him a picture of Santos Escobar lying in a hospital bed, and he made it clear to them, saying, look, if you guys don't pass the test next week, you guys will meet the same fate. And I'm like, damn, oh shit, it's going down. Then we had a backstage segment involving Tiffany Stratton. She was in the makeup room getting her makeup on and finishing up. And Wendy Chu comes in. She splashes her in the face with powder. A brawl ensues backstage. And the two, they eventually make their way to the ringside during the break. And these women were throwing out power moves like crazy. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? So they're doing like power bombs. They're doing full Nelson slams. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Like, what the hell is going on here? You know? But towards the end, Wendy, she locked in a sleeper hold and a slam, but Tiffany was able to get the upper hand by hitting a spinning senton, and she picked up the win for the 1-2-3. I'm digging this. I do think that Tiffany Stratton will be a future NXT Women's Champion. I'm calling it now. And she's going to do fucking fantastic on that main roster. Whether she goes on Raw or SmackDown, she is going to be a force to be reckoned with. She's got a great character, great look. She's young. She's very athletic. I mean, she's got the total package, dude. She would do well on that main roster. Trust and believe, she's going to do well on that main roster. Guarantee you that. Moving on, Apollo Crews, he was out next. And so he said that his passion for wrestling was rekindled thanks to his children. And he's glad to be back in NXT. He said he looks to make some magic with, he named Tony D'Angelo, Bron Breakker, Cameron Grimes, Nathan Frazier, and others. Then he was interrupted by Giovanni Vinci, and then he challenged him to a match. Says, I noticed that you mentioned everybody but me. And then, Cruz was like, let's do this right now. Let's do this right now. He's like, nah, I'm not dressed for that. I'm not dressed for competition. I'm dressed on a night out on the town. And Vinci's like, let's do this next week. So we got a match for next week, Then Ivy Nile, her and Tate Paxley, they were about to start training together. We then also had Diamond Mine. They did a pep talk to one another before their match. So then we had Carmelo Hayes versus Grayson Waller for the NXT North American Championship. This is a really fun match. Match of the night, in my opinion. It was great. These two worked well together. It was kind of weird seeing that it would do well being it was a heel versus heel, and seeing that Hayes had to work a babyface as a babyface, but he played it off very well. So towards the end of the match, Grayson Waller is about to go for that lame ass stunner that he does. Then Trick Williams, he gets involved, and then out of nowhere, Wes Lee, he comes out. They begin to brawl, and then Carmelo hits the leg drop that he needs to get rid of for the 3, and that was it. So I'm digging this. So this is fun. I'm happy for Melo. I do see him being a main eventer in due time as well. Then we had the Creed Brothers versus Diamond Mine for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Roderick Strong and Damon Kemp. This was a pretty fun match, but I'm telling you, to the Creed Brothers, stop doing the fucking sentons. Stop doing not the sentons, but the cannonballs off the top rope. That's dangerous. That's gonna fuck you up in the long run. Don't do that shit. That's bad. But overall, the Creed, they dominated this. In the end, they win via the clothesline that Judas does. No, my bad, not Judas, but Julius, that he does for the 3 on Damon Kemp. And then everyone celebrates except for Strong. So I guess they're going to end up putting Roderick on the main roster in due time. He's done everything he can in NXT. I think he's just ready just to get out and go to AEW and be with Red Dragon. That way they can have the full crew on deck. That's what they kind of want to do. So that's kind of what he's ready there for. I like the Creeds. They're great. They are great. We might have maybe... we might need some more teams in NXT for them to go up against. So, pretty deadly. They're in a scuffle with Jensen and Briggs. So, Then we had a boring ass segment involving Von Wagner. So him and Solo Sikoa, they had an altercation backstage. Match was booked next week. I don't understand why in the hell does Von Wagner have not one but 2 managers, and Robert Stone, and I forgot the girl's name. I forgot her name. Then we had the main event: Bron Breakker versus Cameron Grimes for the NXT North American. For the NXT Championship. This was pretty good. This was fun for a TV match. So towards the end, and Grimes was really aggressive here. He worked the shoulder, the injured right shoulder. He did a bunch of submissions to Bron in the ring post a couple times. Towards the end of the match, he hits the cave-in, and he attempts to go in for a super cave-in, but Bron kicks out at 2 when it comes to the first cave-in, and he goes for the super cave-in. Bron hits a spear out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. Post-match, he's attacked by JD McDonagh, a.k.a. Jordan Devlin. He does a back suplex to the table. He had a vignette earlier in the night, a video package earlier in the night, saying that he's going to make his debut next week, but it was actually, shocker, tonight. So, there's that. I'm okay with this to an extent, but not really. I don't know why they're going to move Cameron Grimes out the way unless he's going to go to the main roster, but he's kind of not ready. He's been there for 3 years, but I mean, all he's going to do is just be in the mid card. And I really feel like his feud with Bron Breakker was just getting started, and we needed more depth with this soon-to-be heel character of Cameron Grimes. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know why they're doing this. Some people were hoping that it was going to be Apollo. I'm glad it wasn't. I'm sort of kind of fine with this, but JD needs to be built up a lot more. You know, not everyone knows of Jordan Devlin, because when he was in NXT, you know, Worlds Collide, when he was doing that stuff in 2020 before COVID hit, you know, not everybody knew of Jordan Devlin, and he was in the Cruiserweight Classic years ago, and you know, he's been in NXT UK for a minute, and now he's just coming over to NXT. I guess that they're gonna, you know, maybe put him at the top of the card for a minute and then bring him back into, put him on the main roster. But do you really want to do something like that? I feel like they should kind of build him up. Shit, I wouldn't use Devlin until Halloween Havoc. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jordan needs to get a whole bunch of wins and be built up properly, because not everybody's gonna know his character. You know, not everybody's gonna know the Irish Ace. It's gonna take time. But overall, this was a pretty fun show. This has actually been one of the better episodes of NXT, and I really enjoyed it. But I think that they rushed the Bron Breakker and Jordan Devlin feud a little bit too quickly. JD McDuff feud too quickly. Because where does this leave Cameron Grimes? You know, Cameron Grimes is not going to go into mid-card territory. He's already done that before. Then he was just kind of thrusted right into a program with Bron Breakker that never really got finished. And it just had one match and it's over with. So I don't know what they're going to do. I just don't think that Cameron Grimes is kind of ready for the main roster just yet. But if they need a good worker and a helping hand, I guess he's your guy for now, you know. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.